So Asmongold and Mythic Talent have parted ways. In other words, they basically fired Asmongold and trying to do this like whole PR thing, where it's like a mutual parting of ways and whatnot. Mind you, Asmongold actually founded or co-founded Mythic Talent back in 2023, and quite frankly, this is pretty insane. Mythic Talent put this tweet out a few hours ago saying, "We have spoken with Asmongold and mutually agreed to part ways. Mythic represents creators from a wide range of backgrounds and perspectives, and we are committed to fostering an environment grounded in respect and responsibility. We remain focused on supporting our creators and continuing our mission to help them build sustainable long-term careers." So, based on the wording of this, it makes it seem like they think Asmongold did not come from a wide range of backgrounds and perspectives. He was not committed to fostering an environment grounded in respect and responsibility, considering the fact that, they have mutually agreed to part ways with him, of course, in air quotes. That is, technical mumbo jumbo. Lots of companies do that. If you get fired from something, they'll be like, "We wish you the best in your future endeavors." In other words, get out of here, get lost, bozo. Now, Mythic himself nor Asmongold has really said anything about what specifically caused this, but there's a tweet from a few days ago by Kaceytron that says, "Here's a list of all the brands and creators that are partnered with Asmongold's talent agency, Mythic Talent. Why they want to be represented by someone who cheers for death every day is beyond me. Should probably start asking them." And she posts a link to all the creators of Mythic Talent as well as the brands associated. Now, Kaceytron's post is in response to this one from Hassan Abi Production. Asmongold completely flip-flopped on Roar with Iran.
"I think that we play too big of a role in other countries' military shit. Like, we're too interventionary, we get too involved into other people's business. It's a waste of our money. The people there probably fucking hate us. Where's really the upside here, right? Just stay out of it." Yeah, exactly. I'm not saying we should be totally isolationist, but I think that the level that we try to play nation building, especially in places like this, like Libya, for example, back in the day, what the or Iraq. No, absolutely not. Yeah, it's too much, man. Way too much. I am so happy this has happened. I am just dramatically, tremendously happy this has happened. I know that, obviously I've talked about it for a long time, about how big of a problem Iran is and everything. I was a big supporter of us bombing them before, and now we're bombing them again, and this is just amazing.
Obviously a witch hunt, right? She tries to describe it in the comment section here that, this isn't a witch hunt. It's just a way for me to get the word out there, try to bring awareness to this. Obviously, we all know Asmongold's been posting the same content, doing reactions to political and quite controversial topics for the past few years. It's nothing new. It's obviously a witch hunt. It's obviously to bring attention to Asmongold, as well as Mythic Talent Agency, who has been in controversy recently. I don't know if you guys know, they parted ways with Tectone after the protective order ended up going through with him and Pink Chew, where he can't be around her, he can't talk to her, talk about her for 10 years, as well as own firearms. They decided to drop Tectone, and it seems now they've decided to drop Asmongold. So it's not looking great for this company because obviously as a talent agency, you don't want to drop your most valuable assets, essentially. And you also probably don't want to be linked to screwing over your creators. Mythic Talent Agency alleged to have skimmed money off the top of a sponsor, shortening their talent, happening to the VTuber Grimmy. This is from the YouTube drama sub, where they ended up doing a contract where there's going to be screenshots of negotiations where they would be paid $2,100. The contract she received from Mythic and signed was only for $2,000, which is only a 5% difference. Still, it's only $100, but still, she got skimmed out of $100. I guess with this sponsor, it was a typo with the brand. So it was resolved between our sales team and their sales team. So you were always going to get the proper amount, just the information didn't quite reach me, which is pretty crazy. A typo. It makes you think if that typo wasn't caught, would this creator have gotten that extra $100, or they've just been like, let's go ahead and put that in our wallet, who knows. And can we talk about how this creator got paid freaking $2,100 for a 1-hour Twitch stream? What am I doing wrong, guys? If you're out there making VTubers, make me a VTuber, because clearly, this commentary slop ain't doing it. I need to get on that VTube grind. All I have to do is put up a freaking overlay for an hour, and my whole monthly rent is paid. That would be nice, right, guys? That's pretty crazy still. And in the second instance, where she was supposed to get $4,400, she only got $4,000, which is a 10% difference. Obviously, that one's a bit more money, $400, so already $500 basically being skimmed from, one of your creators, a part of this talent agency. At that point, why even have a talent agency if they're going to just take your money, or they're going to not help you negotiate your contracts, or they're going to skim a little off the top? They're not going to finalize how much money you're actually going to get from these types of sponsorships and whatnot. Or they might just decide to part ways with you if, there's any sort of pushback or flack or internet drama, like in the case of Asmongold and Kaceytron. Another creator by the name of Nicholas Light ended up also saying, while on vacation for my 1-year anniversary with my wife, Mythic Talent, my talent agency, has parted ways with me as well. So a third person who has been future endeavored by Mythic Talent, another creator who has been kicked to the curb, again, someone who posts what you would consider like controversial reaction content. Again, not the most offensive stuff in the world. Sure, there's some hot takes here and there, but again, it's not like the end of the world. If anything, this guy just posts like a lot of anime reactions and whatnot, so kind of weird to let him go. With a talent agency, you guys are essentially a team, right? And you can't just fire your teammates. You can't have a team without the people that are helping it form. And this comes down to, again, like people like Asmongold, people like Nicholas Light here, people like other creators, even if they get in a little bit of controversy, they get in some hot water, when you fire them, it's going to affect your company. People are going to look at it differently, which is probably why Mythic Talent decided to turn off mentions for this, because they don't want people to give their thoughts. They don't want people to have anything to really say. They're just kind of like, yep, we're fired. Peace out. Thanks for watching. Bye. And again, like, it's not a great look for Mythic Talent, but to an extent, again, as a company, even Asmongold, it seems like he knows that it's probably not a great idea to have his name be associated with it. I'm pretty sure the same thing happened with OTK. When you just reach a certain level of fame and success where you're able to kind of hold your own, you don't really need to be associated with a company with, when controversy, when snarkers, when drama can kind of bring the company down. If it just makes more sense for you to kind of part ways or do your own thing, run the company privately, do your own thing behind the scenes, it's smarter for the most part to handle it that way.
But he still owns equity. So you're willing to throw him away and remove him from Mythic Talent publicly, but behind the scenes, Asmongold still owns equity. So what I don't understand here is, how is Asmon so...
Dominoes. Oh, the dominoes.
How is he able to own the company behind the scenes, but then you publicly make a tweet like this?
And that's just about how the cookie crumbles, ladies and gentlemen. If there's any update to this situation, I will keep you guys updated. If there's anything really worth covering, I feel like there won't be. Asmongold, again, he's on his own pedestal, right? Like, there's a whole hierarchy. He's all the way up there. He doesn't really need any of these companies. Yeah, it's cool to be sponsored and affiliated with all these companies and found all these companies, but he's in a league of his own, and he's probably not even going to respond to this or say anything. He's going to stream like nothing's happening. He's going to keep making millions of dollars, reacting to videos, and doing what he does best. Either way, I want to know what you guys think down below about all of this, right? Regarding the Mythic Talent Agency itself, regarding them possibly skimming from the top or scamming creators, who knows? As well as, the whole Kaceytron rant, her trying to send a witch hunt down on people, which could have possibly led to Asmongold getting let go or parting ways with his own company. Pretty crazy stuff, guys. Thank you for watching. As always, peace out. Bye.